Okay, in 2004, I and Fred bought a vacation house in western Pennsylvania, outside of the little town that we grew up in, because our parents had all died, and we decided that we wanted a place that we could go home to if we wanted to go back there, because it's a beautiful little town on the Allegheny River in western Pennsylvania. The house, I found the house, and it was 150 years old. I put the first bathroom in it. It had a wonderful odorless outhouse with a little hole and a big hole. That was cool. And it was on 5 acres of forested land, 2.5 miles from the nearest small town, on a road, a dirt road that said no winter service. So there you have it. And it was just surrounded by forest. And the house sat on the edge of a hill. There was a big hill right behind the house that went up, and at the top of the hill there were caves. Some of them were shallow, some went 50 yards back into the mountain. And it was, and then on the other side of the hill was the Allegheny River. So you had to walk maybe an acre and a half to get to the river. It was common knowledge that bears wintered in these caves, and Pennsylvania has a lot of black bears. And I had seen them. Most of the black bears they're just shy animals. They try to stay away. They try to stay away from people. They rummage in your garbage if you don't batten it down, and they go for dumps and anything that is cheap and easy. And so I didn't worry about the bears. I just grew up in that area. Didn't have any reason to worry about them. So I would go back in April and open the house up, and then my friend was an accountant in Cleveland, and she wouldn't go there unless I was there because she was afraid of the forest. And she made the margaritas on the porch. She's afraid of snakes, bugs, but everything. I didn't know this when we got the house. And so anyway, when I got there in April, it was raining. And I thought, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up and I'm going mushroom hunting. Going to find myself some juicy morels or chanterelles, and then it's going to be fabulous. So that's what I did. The following morning I got after I had my coffee, I took a little Easter basket and a penknife, and I climbed up the hill and went foraging. And I had probably been at it for about maybe 20 minutes or so. I maybe had 10 juicy mushrooms in that little basket, and I felt something looking at me. Just had that strong feeling that something was watching me. And there was no one else in the forest. There were 2 other houses that weren't even in shouting distance, and I knew nobody was in those houses yet. And I could have screamed my head off, nobody would have heard me. So I thought, all right. So I just stood up carefully and turned around with my little basket. I got my basket. And there was a huge black bear on all 4s on the path, maybe from here to Linda, 15 to 20 feet from me. Maybe not that far, because I could see, I swear, his eyelashes, you know what I'm saying? I said, oh, hi. Oh, I forgot an important part. The Humane Society tells you to take an umbrella, a pop-up umbrella. And so when you see a bear, they write this shit, but they don't, no one has ever done this. When you see a bear, you pop the umbrella and it makes you look bigger. It just makes you look like Mary Poppins. It does not make you look bigger. It makes you look like an idiot in the forest. So I didn't even know I had an umbrella. I didn't even know anything at this point. All I know is that I had a basket with mushrooms in it and a paring knife with a blade this big. And I said, "Oh, you must live in the caves up here." I said, "I live in the red house right there. I live right down there. We're neighbors. You know that? You've probably seen me before. I'm up here all the time." I said, "You know, and I'm really on your side. Do you know that I have posted all of this? All of this is posted no hunting. I hate those hunters. I hate hunters that come after people. And I've got to tell you, I'm on your side. My name is Ruby, and I live in the red house. Don't forget that. You're probably going down to the river for some fat fish. You could take some mushrooms. Take that down to the river with you to get some of those fat fish. I swear it'd be really good. You probably never had mushrooms and fish before together as a meal." Well, I'm just saying, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Right now, the only thing I know for sure, Mr. Bear, is that I can't go first. So I can't turn around. You are the one who has to make the first move. That's what it says in the book. And if you don't make the first move, we're going to be here all day. You don't want that. I don't want that. So, my God, why don't you just do something? And the bear went like this. And I said, "Praise the Lord." I got to him. He just knows how dumb this whole thing is. And he did. And he turned and he went toward the river. And I watched him leave. I just stood there and watched him head down the hill until he was out of sight. And then I ran down to my house and got the Jameson out of the... poured myself a big slug of Jameson and sat down in the chair and realized I had the goddamn umbrella in my pocket and thought, a lot of good. That would do. And then I cried. I just wept. And I thought, oh my God. I'm weeping because as I, the sob stopped because of the nervousness, that I thought, I was afraid. I thought, but you know what? The truth is, that bear never acted threatening, seemed to threaten me, wanted to threaten me, nothing. He was just standing there. And I'm doing all the talking, keeping him there. And I thought, oh, you know what? Suppose I'd been one of those people who had a gun and I had shot him just because I was afraid. He hadn't done anything. I would never have been able to forgive myself. But people do that all the time, don't they? Mm-hmm. They just shoot because they're afraid. Anyway, that's my bear story. Wow. Thank you.